So, with the 27th pick in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Colorado Avalanche have selected Calum Ritchie, a center from Oshawa. Gil Martin here alongside of prospects expert Hadi Kalakeche. And now we are joined by Chris Micieli of Locked On Avalanche to talk about this pick. And Chris, Calum Ritchie, happy with that pick?
Yeah, definitely. The thing with this draft is, when you're looking at mocks and stuff like that, it was almost like no two mock draft was the same on who the Avalanche were picking. You saw a couple that went Ritchie, and I think it's a good pick. I think they're benefiting from him having a quote unquote down year. And if he had a season that most people expected him to have, it's not like he had a bad year at all, but I think people were expecting a little bit more from him. If he had that, I think you're talking a top 15, top 12 pick. So I think the Avalanche are trying to benefit off of that and make everybody say, why do the Avalanche keep getting guys that we should have known better to pick earlier? So I like it. He's, you always hear about his hockey IQ. It seems like he does everything everything well. And he doesn't like stand out in one particular area. But I think it's a really good pick. I think it's a smart pick. This is good for their future. They needed to start getting more prospects back in. And I think this is a good start for him. I think, he's good. Like I said, he just does everything that you like well.
Hadi, what was the reason that he didn't quite meet expectations this season?
It's a mix of a lot of things, but mainly just not being as well surrounded and not having the support in order for players to finish the plays that he was making. The thing with Ritchie is he's, as the kids say, he's got that dog in him. So he loves to, get under opponent's skin. He's kind of got that pestilence about him that you like to see. Very driven in terms of how do I improve my teammates' motivation level, and how do I discourage the other team from getting under our skin and trying things and just getting them to take dumb penalties at times. He's very intelligent, both between whistles and throughout the game itself, but especially the one thing that stands out with this game is his hockey sense. And you need, when you've got great hockey sense, you need teammates that are able to read the game as well as you do, because they need to anticipate what you're thinking. When teammates are on the same page as you, it can work wonders for your team. When the players you're playing with are not as smart as you are, when they're not as driven to kind of look at your eyes and seeing where you're looking, what you're trying to do, it can lead to some poor performances. But in a vacuum, Calum Ritchie's hockey sense is among the best in this draft, and he's got a decent-ish skill set. Like Chris mentioned, he can do a bit of everything for you: offensively, defensively, shooting, passing, stick handling, skating. Obviously he's not the fastest. He's got a bit of issues with the skating stride, but other than that, he's a fairly complete player with a lot of decent elements to his game.
And who would you say would be his NHL comparable right now?
I'd say Brady Tkachuk would be a close one. Maybe not as toolsy, maybe not as good a skater, but he's definitely got that edge to his game that Tkachuk does, and very smart about how he goes about it as well. Sometimes Tkachuk can go overboards. Ritchie very rarely does, so a bit more controlled in that aggression.
A Tkachuk going overboards? What are you talking about?
No, that's not possible, right? There's no way.
I think you just made Chris's day with that comparison.
That was good.
Chris, how do you feel that this tells us about the direction that the Avalanche is going in and replenishing their prospect pool?
I think what you look at, like, coupled with the moves that they just made in trades with getting Johansson, and I think they realize they need to bulk up a little bit more. And you look at Ritchie, he's already got the height. He's at 6'2", and he's just a touch under 190 pounds, but he's 18 years old. So he'll fill out even more. And I think that, and they just traded Alex Newhook, who was, on the undersized spectrum. So I think that's what they're realizing is, like, we need a little bit more size. And when Ritchie is ready to go, he should have that hockey style of body. Like I said, he's already got the height. and he kind of already has the weight. Maybe pack on a couple more pounds and you'll be just fine. So I think it's a good pick. It wasn't one that I was expecting, and I really wonder if the Avs even thought that he was going to be there. And I do think they had an eye on Quentin Musty, who went right before him to San Jose. And I think at that point they were just like, we're gold, because either one of these guys will be fine for us. And I think they are just fine with Calum Ritchie. I think he has a pretty good future with the Avs, and he's got a good roster to kind of teach him the ropes, does he not? In some of those stars that they have over in Colorado. So it's a really good situation for him to be in.
Sounds like a win-win. For more on this selection and all of the Avalanche's other moves around the draft and in free agency, tune into Locked On Avalanche for free on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.